If you can create a balance on the plate, you're actually balancing a person's mind and body. The yogis describe this experience as bliss. That food that's cooked this way can actually confer a feeling of bliss or blissfulness. It's perfect contentedness. My name is Andrea Haley-Sankaran, and I'm a food blogger, a writer, a photographer, and I teach people how to cook. I'm also a Falun Dafa practitioner, and that gives me more of an ability to, help others and contribute to something, more positive in the world, which is something that I've always wanted to do. Growing up, I think the best way I could describe it was disheartened about the state of humanity. I didn't know what to do for a career. I didn't know how I could make a difference in the world. So it was actually during this time, during this dark time, that I discovered cooking. That's what began my own inner journey. It was something that I could do in my own time, just spend hours in the kitchen, putting together beautiful food and cooking it. And the way I approached the cooking was very healing. The way that I cook, it's not just about getting some ingredients and putting them together and filling the belly. My approach to cooking is actually all about how to create a balanced plate of food. This is part of traditional cultures from China, and also Ayurveda from India has this principle that if you can create a balance on the plate, that you're actually balancing a person's mind and body. The yogis actually describe this experience as bliss. That food that's cooked this way can actually confer a feeling of bliss or blissfulness. It's perfect contentedness. Cooking is about nurturing, and gardening is also about nurturing. It's not just about putting a seed or a plant in the ground. The soil beneath it is actually where all the flavor and the nutrition in the food comes from. So you actually have to start with the soil. One thing that surprised me the most, I think, about the garden is that actually each plant has very specific needs. It needs to be planted at a particular time. It needs nutrition given to it at the right time. And maybe it needs companion plants. And maybe it needs the right kind of sunlight and the right kind of airflow. And obviously the right amount of water. And if the plant doesn't get exactly what it needs, it will get sick. That just boggled my mind, because I always think about humans, in the same way. Isn't it that if we don't do, everything just right for ourselves and pay attention to all the details, then we also get sick. We're not just physical beings, we're also energetic beings. So the more you can be aware of that and bring that into the cooking, the more profound the impact. I can tell you, if I cook in a rush, or if I cook when I'm not, feeling like it, say I don't want to cook, but I have to cook, the result is completely different. Food that's cooked with mindfulness, with awareness, with calm, with attention, with care, and with respect, is actually food that's cooked with love. And when you eat that kind of food, it has that effect on your being. So it's very healing holistically for both mind and body. Our food is actually given to us by gods. So when we cultivate it, when we grow it, and then when we consume it, it's actually a way of respecting gods. If you treat it with respect, then you're showing that solemnity, that proper respect and solemnity towards the divine. Well, I just believe that, cooking and treating food properly is an essential part of, living in this world. At the beginning, it was very much about, nurturing myself, showing myself love and self-respect and healing myself. But after learning, Falun Dafa, I was truly getting healed. And now cooking is more about teaching others and inspiring others and helping others, maybe, just maybe, to kind of follow the path that I followed, to get more peaceful, to examine their lives through that process of cooking and become more open and aware to the greater dimensions to life that go beyond the material dimension, to be aware that there is a spiritual dimension to life and to start looking for that. Falun Dafa means to follow the principles of truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance. Another translation is forbearance or patience, which means no matter what happens, if you can remain calm, then you can weather the storm. If everybody had a garden, it would make a huge difference in everyone's lives. And I think there would be a lot less, disease, and there would be a lot more kindness too in the world, because it's not easy to grow a garden.